Butter, you're the reason why I am my way. You're the reason why I rip my shirts, why I eat at the buffet. Butter, you got your very own kind of nice. We all live inside a butter world. Oh, butter, butter, gonna eat it by the stick tonight. Gonna eat out this world. Oh, butter, I'm about to take a bite, 'cause I want that salty cream, what I dream about all night. Butter dreaming, I'm about to take a bite, 'cause I want that salty cream, what I dream about all.
Hello, hello.
Let's go.
Oh man, the intro always gets me pumped.
Yeah. What's going on?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to a Monday Night Live with Butterfueled, episode 10. We've got a great episode for everyone tonight. We're gonna be talking about seed oils, and also most 5 very important reasons why seed oils are very good for you. They've been fact checked, approved.
Yeah, your overlords want you to know this.
And we do have a great guest. His name is Mr. Anderson. You can see him on the screen over there.
Yeah. What's going on, Jay? I'm here. I report I've found meat and eggs. And I also ate some bugs from the ocean. And I turned their color. Yeah. I didn't eat the exoskeletons, though. Don't eat the exoskeletons. That's where the chitin is. The chitin. Chitin. I don't even know how you pronounce that word. But don't eat it.
The cheating.
Yeah. If you eat the exoskeleton, you let the globalists win.
Oh,
Don't let them win. Yeah. But seed oils are good for you. But,
seed oils are good for you.
Yeah. But I'm happy to report meat is secured. Eggs are secured. We are doing very well. We're on the road, expanding our horizons. Butterfield
Nice.
is taking over the world.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Meat secured in El Salvador. That's good to hear. So you're
Yes.
able to find sustenance, nutrition, and well-being while traveling.
Yeah.
That's good.
Paid with Bitcoin.
You paid with Bitcoin.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Newsflash, you still can't buy eggs with Bitcoin. So what good is Bitcoin for?
So you cannot buy Bitcoin yet.
Yeah, Bitcoin maximalists are going to hate me now. Sorry, guys. Come check it out for yourself.
So it's all been theoretical use of payment processing for Bitcoin.
Yeah. But, country's beautiful. You should definitely come check it out. Amazing food. I will say, I got some ground beef at the supermarket. They don't rate it by how lean it is. They just say like it's premium or like special. Special being like not premium, or it's like super premium. And visually one is more red than the other. So I bought like the lowest quality one, which I assume it's fattier. And I bought some of the really red one. But when I cooked them, they had this smell. They had like a very distinct smell, like the ground beef that I've smelled before. We've smelled before, and then I remembered where I smelled that with what kind of ground beef. Like it was the ground beef we got from butcher box.
Butcher box.
Yeah, it smells just like that ground beef, which I thought was very interesting. Yeah, like that. I don't know if you remember. Like you'd have to smell it to remember. Like the butcher box ground beef has a very distinct smell to it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. It smells different.
So you recognize that smell of the ground beef in El Salvador with the smell of the ground beef from butcher box.
Yeah. I just thought that was curious. Yeah.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, grain fed is not a norm here. a lot of the beef gets imported from Nicaragua.
Interesting.
So, but as far as I'm concerned, it's probably exclusively fed pasture. I mean, I've seen some wild cows over here, just like roaming the fields, and
That's true.
they're not fat animals. So, grain is expensive here, man.
Yeah.
The imported beef from the USA, they bring it and it's priced like 2 or 3 times what the other products are, either like the national or the one from Nicaragua. That's like definitely more marbled and obviously fed grain, so people will pay a premium for grain fed here. Meanwhile, in the US, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah. So yeah, you're paying a premium on grain fed in El Salvador, and grass fed is the more accessible option.
Yes.
Incredible.
Striking. Yeah, incredible.
Very striking.
Yeah, but that's enough of me. So.
Awesome. Let's proceed then.
Let's go. Got a great show planned today.
Yes. Great show. We're going to be talking about 5 reasons why seed oils are healthy. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey.
And
Big canola offered to buy us. So seed oils are healthy for you.
seed oils are healthy.
Sugar's still bad. Sugar. Don't eat sugar.
Sugar's not paying up.
Yeah.
They're not matching the checks.
No. Better step it up, General Mills.
Yeah. Sugar's falling behind. We need bigger paychecks.
Yeah.
Bigger paychecks, more sugar is healthy.
Exactly.
Courtney says,
Hey.
Poof a party, let's go.
Let's go. We have trumpets for her? You have the...
No, I don't have the trumpets enabled.
No. That's okay. Courtney, I'm sending trumpets for you.
Excellent. So here, checking up. Situps February. Again, we're midway through. It was February 13th. Midway through Situps February. 25 sit-ups or crunches or some sort of ab workout per day. But a lot of people are doing 200 abs per day. So
yeah,
people are going beast at it.
People are, reporting benefits, visual benefits. They say they feel their abs more now. They see them better. Why are you not in our Discord yet? Definitely go join.
Exactly.
You are missing out.
Missing out on a group of people that just really want to push themselves.
Exactly. We hold weekly Zoom meetings on Wednesdays, usually 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern. I forget.
Yeah, we're flexible on the time. Sometimes we're
flexible.
8, sometimes we do 9.
Yeah, and we have all sorts of crazy talk. We raw milk pilled someone, and then we had some sort of tinfoiled hat conversations. Anyone who's in this space probably has a very open mind. If you don't, then have an open mind.
Yeah, I mean, once you see through the lies, the blatant lies in nutrition, then you're more open to seeing lies in other areas.
Yeah. Once you realize the government lies to you on purpose, you should question everything.
Question everything.
That comes from a .gov website.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So quick update. It says push-ups, but it's actually sit-ups. Typo. Leaderboard as of today. We have Big Darren, top place with 2,000 sit-ups. This was pulled today.
Savage.
Joey. Yeah, complete savage. Joey with 1,500 and Nadia with 1,500 as well. So they're both neck to neck. Yeah, people are getting ahead. A big gap between first place and fourth place.
I love it. Where's previous winners, right? What happened to
Coastal Carnivore? Yeah.
Or Steel Resolve. Come on, guys.
Steel Resolve. Where is Steel Resolve? Shout out.
Bring it. Yeah, bring it back. And then that's us, place 6 and 7.
6 and 7. We're always at the middle.
Yeah, I'm 50 50 sit-ups ahead. It's also in alphabetical order. So
Yeah, you're 50 sit-ups ahead, so I have to step it up.
yeah, yeah, we have to step it up. That's what we always say.
Yeah, we always
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah. Updates from last week, our podcast. We had a conversation I was traveling. My brother Jay talked to Sandy, based young carnivore. He's one of our favorite Discord members. We've had all sorts of crazy talk with him. And we just it was a great opportunity to connect with Sandy. I'm sorry I missed it, but I got nothing but love for Sandy.
Yeah. Yeah, cool guy. Very young. Found his carnivore, is willing to explore more things. He's gonna be trying out raw. We're not raw meat eaters, but it should be interesting. It should be interesting what his experience is. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's very, very educated. He knows a lot and very curious too. So that's all good qualities.
Smart guy, definitely.
Smart guy.
Yeah. Then we talked with Megan Stark from Triangle S Livestock.
Megan.
Yeah. She raises all natural beef, hormone-free, non-GMO, antibiotic-free, all really good stuff out of Rexton. Rexton, is it? Rexton, Idaho.
Yeah.
Rexburg.
Rexburg, yes.
My apologies. Rexburg, Idaho. Great conversation. We're obviously meat enthusiasts, me and my brother, but we learned a lot from that conversation. And I think that if you enjoy this kind of content, you enjoy learning, way beyond nutrition, you'd really be surprised by this conversation. Just a lot of information. She is a grass-fed, grain-finished farmer. So we dive into it. We ask her all the sorts of questions that you might have yourself, and she gave phenomenal answers. And really, we have to say her beef is of outstanding quality. And she guarantees a quality product. She delivers a quality product, and she has the highest of standards for her cattle. We talked about beefalo, so bison and cow hybrids. Dr. Temple Grandin's humane methods. So Dr. Temple Grandin is like a big figure in the livestock welfare space, I guess I could say. And then, we asked her about all sorts of things: government regulation, government overreach, and mRNA jabs in cattle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Do you want
jabs
to know
in
what
general.
she said? Yeah, jabs in general. Yeah. In cattle, right? What are you going to do about that? Everyone's heard about it. Everyone knows it's coming. Go check it out. See for yourself. Hear it straight from the farmer. Don't take my word for it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and that's a good point too about hearing it straight from the farmer, right? Because there's always, you have influencers who, are not experienced in farms and somehow think that they know best what feed should go into a cattle. There's always, it's good to be informed in terms of knowing what grassing means in terms of feed and health, and what grain feeding, which is a little bit more than just feeding grains. It's very important to know all those details and to be well informed from a farmer's perspective versus a social media influencer's perspective.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Straight from the source, the people who work hard every day to make food for you.
Who actually work with the cattle.
Yeah, who interact with the animals on a daily basis. Huge respect for any and all people working in that industry, and especially Megan Stark, wonderful person.
Yeah.
You can get 5% discount with our code Butter5. Go check it out.
Yes.
We're happy to support her work.
Super happy to be working with Megan. All right.
There we go.
Seed oils are healthy. They've been approved by Butterfield.
And
So,
the AHA, you know,
yes, yeah. So
American
this is
Heart Association.
exactly. This is a screenshot of the American Heart Association saying that these are the better for you fats, the less saturated fats: canola, corn, olive. Interesting. Peanut, safflower, soybean, and sunflower.
Hmm. My God, I wish I could just mix them all together and
Mm,
eat them. Seed oil salad.
a seed oil salad. Yes.
Yeah.
Blend
Vegetable blend.
the vegetable. That's
Yeah.
what vegetable oil is. It's just all of this.
Yeah. They
It's
can't even remember what they put in it.
that's yes. All out of the kindness of their hearts.
Yeah.
Yes. So use these oils. Use them. They are healthy. They're recommended, and they are healthy.
Comply.
Comply.
Don't ask questions. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. The AHA and Harvard and Tufts, USDA, FDA, WHO, what other agency? FBI, CIA. They all agree it's good for you. Eat them.
Exactly.
Peasant.
Better for you. Better for you.
Butter for you?
Butter for you.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, I mean, like the first paragraph says, use these instead of butter.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Wow. Yeah. They're specifically warning against saturated fat. Man, I can't wait to dive into the 5 reasons you should eat
Five
them.
reasons. 5 reasons.
Wink,
All right.
wink. You know.
Reason number 1.
So, yeah, you can't talk about seed oils without wondering why they were ever a thing, right? You know, they love to call them vegetable oils, but they're not vegetables. They come from seeds, right? And the first seed oil product was brought to market by Procter & Gamble with the product Crisco. How did they come to this innovation? It was through the discovery that they could hydrogenate the vegetable oils, and this allowed them to increase profit margins on otherwise useless byproducts.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you want to open the link, or do you have them open? It doesn't really matter.
Let me open the link.
It's a long article, but basic highlights. People would rely on lard for their cooking, and there was a lot of cottonseed as a waste byproduct from the cotton industry, right? Why were people using cotton? Well, I don't know, just for like anything that needs to use cotton, guys, like clothes, I guess. Well, what else uses cotton? Pads, everything, right? Q-tips. Yeah. Let me see.
Ads.
See if I can open this from the Smithsonian Magazine. Right?
Yeah, from
So I guess it's the Smithsonian. Must be pretty credible, and they're right there in Washington, D.C. How Crisco made American believers in industrial food. They're even telling you themselves. Crisco's main ingredient, cottonseed oil, had a bad rap. So marketers decided to focus on the purity of factory food processing. There you go. So, it's there's a lot of information here in this article. I just want to highlight some portions. So, where it says, lard gets some competition, right? So there you go. For most of the 19th century, cotton seeds were a nuisance. Cotton gins come through the South's ballooning cotton harvest to produce clean fiber. They left mountains of seeds behind. Early attempts to mill those seeds resulted in oil that was unappealingly dark and smelly. Many farmers just let their piles of cotton seed rot. Okay, so this is what they found a way to profit from, guys. It was just a waste byproduct. Okay, it was after an early chemist named David Wesson, like in Wesson cooking oils, right, pioneered industrial bleaching and deodorizing techniques in the late 19th century that cottonseed became clear, tasteless, and neutral smelling enough to appeal to consumers. Soon, companies were selling cottonseed oil by itself as a liquid or mixing it with animal fats to make cheap solid shortenings sold in pails to resemble lard. Well, there you have it, guys. Key takeaways: waste byproduct that people would let rot out in fields. They found ways to process it industrially and sell you something that they told you could eat, which humans had never eaten before the 19th century, right? Pretty egregious stuff. Look, wow,
Yeah.
1911. That's interesting.
Courtney
Yeah,
says blasphemy.
blasphemy. Absolutely. You scroll down to where it says trust the brand, not the ingredients. That's just the other part I want to highlight because this was you got to understand, this was a conscientious, purposeful marketing event. Yeah, keep scrolling. It's like one of the headlines, one of the headers. Trust the brand, not the ingredients.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah. So there you go. The second paragraph. Crisco would have never become a juggernaut without its aggressive advertising campaigns that stressed the purity and modernity of factory production and the reliability of the Crisco name. In the wake of the 1906 Pure Food and Drug Act, this is before the FDA was a thing. This was the 1906 Pure Food and Drug Act. What do food and drugs have to do with each other? Which made it illegal to adulterate or mislabel food products and boosted consumer confidence. Crisco helped convince Americans that they didn't need to understand the ingredients in processed food as long as those foods came from a trusted brand. There you go. Well, what do you have to say to that, huh? Seed oil apologists. Of course, no one eats cottonseed oil anymore, or at least they shouldn't, because it was later discovered that the trans fats in them were problematic. So they found other sources of the seed oils beyond cottonseed. That's where corn, rapeseed, soybean, sunflower, safflower came. But the highlight here is, people will say, oh, but just because you say the word processed doesn't mean it's bad, right? But the question should be, but come on, use your common sense and look at the context, right? Like butchering meat is processing it, making ground beef is processing it. But you need to process it in that way for you to be able to consume it, right? But like the reason, why were these seeds processed in this way to begin with? Because otherwise you would have a rancid, disgusting, dark product. So it was processed so that it wouldn't smell bad. It was processed so that it wouldn't look bad. And it was processed so it would resemble lard. It was all the motives for which it was processed was to trick you into putting it into your mouth. Okay, and the seed oil apologists will say, well, like, oh, process doesn't mean bad. It's like, man, use some critical thought, please. Why was it processed in the first place? And the same thing goes for any and all of the new vegetable seed oils that are used. Okay, why was this put in the food supply in the first place? This was before the FDA 1906 Pure Food and Drug Act. Allowed for these companies to get away with these things. And through aggressive marketing, and then of course confounding factors, aggressive push against animal meats, against cholesterol, AHA, these things, Procter & Gamble giving the AHA upon its creation a big lump sum of money. Why did they do it? Profit, right? They could sell you garbage for the price of lard, maybe even cheaper, right? But before then, animal fats were by and far the standard of cooking oils.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think that's it for this article.
All right.
Yeah, I encourage you, the listener, the viewer, to go dig into this story by yourself. Go pull up this article, Smithsonian Magazine, pretty comprehensive. Of course, there's a lot more that goes into it, but these are 5 reasons why it's good for you. One of those is the history for your health and safety.
Yeah.
All of these reasons could just be one episode on their own, but we'll leave that for future episodes. Reason number 2, this is when we dive into a bit of the chemistry. The stability of these fatty acids. So polyunsaturated fatty acids and saturated fatty acids. Sorry for the organic chemistry lesson, folks, but if you want to understand the difference, you're going to need to learn a little bit of organic chemistry. So look at the chains, the fatty acid chains. You know, the highlight here is the double versus single bonds. That's what differentiates between saturated and unsaturated. So if there are no double bonds, the whole chain has single bonds along the carbon chain, mind you. We're not looking at the oxygen double bond on the left side. That is a saturated chain. That means it is it's relatively more stable, and the double bond in the unsaturated fatty acid chain actually is the spot where a reaction can take place, right? One of those reactions can be oxidation, right? So now the fatty acid could become oxidized, and then that's going to cause oxidation when it's circulating around your body. But basically, that's what it looks like, right? And I think we have some more pictures in the future slides about what the different fatty acids look like, but this is the main reason. So go to the next slide. That brings us to the next point, the stability, right? So what gives the cooking oils, their different characteristics? Things like, are they solid or liquid at room temperature, and their smoke points, right? So in chemistry, you learn that the compound itself, its melting point and like smoking point or like boiling point are going to be dependent on their structural integrity, which allows for their intermolecular forces. Okay, so that's a bit of a mouthful, but basically what you need to look at is saturated fatty acids. Because they don't have double bonds, they don't bend, so they stretch out, they're straight, they're rigid, they're more rigid, right? Relatively more rigid, and they can stack better, right? So if you look at the diagram above the butter sticks, you'll see these are 3 fatty acid chains, and they stack along better. So they kind of like, they form like this more stable structure, macrostructure, if you will. That gives it its a higher melting point, higher smoking point, these characteristics. Meanwhile, on the right side, you look at the polyunsaturated fatty acid chains. Because of their double bonds, that's where they bond. Well, that's where they bend. Excuse me. That's where they bend, right?
Yeah.
And this interferes in their ability to stack with each other linearly, right? So now you have kind of like what is a good analogy, right? Like if you were trying to like imagine you were trying to like stack some 2x4s, or you're trying to stack some tree branches, right? That's kind of like what we're talking about here. If you stack the 2x4s, you're going to have a more stable, solid structure. If you're trying to stack some branches, they're going to be falling all over each other, right? I guess that's close enough analogy for what we're showing here. For the handy people at home, the handy listeners, if you know what a 2x4 is. But yeah, so basically, that's why polyunsaturated fats, seed oils, will tend to be liquid at room temperature. Meanwhile, you have things like butter or tallow or lard, which are pretty solid, pretty firm at room temperature, right? That's the difference. Why is that? It's because of their molecular integrity, the way their intermolecular forces, higher melting points, higher smoking points, and thus their stability, okay? And why does the stability matter? Because that is what's going to determine how likely these oils are to oxidize. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Go to the next one. Oh, so we have a table here of just to showcase some of the melting and smoke points. So the one on the left, it doesn't even have a title. That's a bad table. My apologies. But those are the melting points on the left table. So if you see, let's look at linseed oil. Melting point minus 24 Celsius. So pretty liquid at room temperature, right?
Yeah, this is freezing. Minus 11 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. And then, let's go to the other extreme, mutton tallow. So I believe mutton is sheep, or some version of it.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Mutton tallow, 42 Celsius, 108 Fahrenheit is the melting point. So by and large, at room temperature, mutton tallow is going to be pretty solid, right? So, why is this? is because of the saturated versus the polyunsaturated fatty acids that make up the structure of the fat as a whole, right? And then the same thing goes for the smoke points, right? So smoke point is, you can think of it as like the boiling point of the oils, but then this one gets a little bit more tricky and a little bit more into the intricacies of the differences between the fats themselves, right? So, for example, you have safflower oil being at the highest. How can this be if this is a polyunsaturated fatty acid, right? And then you'll have something like beef tallow having a lower smoke point than safflower oil, right? Why do you think that is? So, well, the difference is, not all saturated fatty acids are the same. There's not one universal type of fatty acid, right? And in most cases, in the case of tallow, for example, it's not exclusively saturated fat. It's going to have some mostly saturated, and then for the most of the other part, it's going to be monounsaturated, right? So, monounsaturated, that fatty acid in olive oil that they tell you makes olive oil beneficial is also in tallow, by the way, and lard, by the way. So how come olive oil good, but tallow and lard bad, right? But that's not the point right now. But then why is safflower oil? Why are these light refined olive oil, soybean oil, peanut oil? Why do these have actually, refined olive oil, rice bran oil, safflower oil all have higher smoke points than clarified butter? It's because these oils, these seed oils will also get refined, right? And once they get refined, that means they're basically like purifying for the longer chain fatty acids from these oils, and that's one of the chemical concepts. The longer the fatty acid is, the more stable it's going to be. Okay, so even though it's polyunsaturated, there's still like 18 carbon chains, okay, that get refined. So they basically get all the other stuff removed so that it's concentrated of these oils. And then these are not exclusively polyunsaturated fatty acids as well. They will have saturated fatty acids and some MUFAs. I'm talking about the seed oils. They will have like the whole spectrum, but for the most part, they will be very high in PUFA. So that explains why these would have higher smoke points, right? They get processed so that they have these higher smoke points. Versus if you have something like clarified butter or tallow, again, you're not just getting your long chain saturated fatty acids like stearic acid or palmitic acid. These fats will also contain things like short chain fatty acids, right? Like butyric acid in the case of butter. So these shorter chain fatty acids are going to be more reactive. Okay, even though they're saturated, they're smaller. They're not 18 carbon chains. They're shorter, right? Butyric is 4, 5. Wait, hold on. Oh no, it's 3. Yeah, I'm having to remember organic chemistry. But yeah, does that make sense? So it's not just about saturated versus PUFA. It's also like within saturated, you'll have 18 carbon, and then you'll have like smaller short chain, and then you'll have medium chain. And these things also play into the factors like their smoke points, right? So that explains why the seed oils will have higher smoke points. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yes.
Makes sense to you? Okay. Hopefully that makes sense to the listeners, because
it's not as straightforward as initially thought.
Yeah. It requires some understanding of chemistry, right?
Yeah. And reason number 3 is byproducts of using seed oils. Oh, this is a high. I know. This is
that's the link. Yeah. So most people on average, I read an alarming statistic. They consume about 6 tablespoons of seed oil or vegetable oils, of soybean oil actually. The statistic is for soybean oil exclusively. 6 tablespoons per day is what the average American consumes, which is a ridiculous amount of seed oils. They get more calories from seed oils than they do from red meat. And yet they will have you believe that the 1.8 ounces of red meat that people have on average every day is what's actually killing you, and you should limit your consumption. But here we have a study, intake of omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acid-rich vegetable oils and risk of lifestyle diseases, by Tetsumori Yamashima.
Nice.
Yeah.
Although excessive consumptions of deep fried foods is regarded as one of the most epidemiological factors of lifestyle diseases such as Alzheimer's disease, type 2 diabetes, and obesity, the exact mechanism remains unknown. This review aims to discuss whether heated cooking oil derived peroxidation products cause cell degeneration, death, for the occurrence of lifestyle diseases. Very interesting. Deep fried foods cooked in omega-6 PUFA-rich vegetable oils such as rapeseed, canola, soybean, sunflower, and corn oils already contain or intrinsically generate hydroxynonenal by peroxidation.
That's right. Yeah. So that compound is one of the toxic byproducts that actually is commonly found in seed oils, or like after cook, that generate after cooking with them, or even just by resting at the shelf.
The heat shock protein, HSP71, with the resultant impaired ability of cells to recycle damaged proteins and stabilize the lysosomal membrane.
So the proteins can't recycle themselves, right? And your body's continuously recycling its proteins, and protein is more than just muscle tissue, it's organs, guys, it's skin, that's how your body heals. It's bones, teeth, nails, hair, all of these things are getting, it's a constant flow, right? Your body's like a river of protein. It's flowing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So
let me see.
Any other points?
It's just being suggested that this may have some relevance to Alzheimer's neuronal death. Relevance to cell death of the hypothalamus, liver, and pancreas.
Yeah, so pretty nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and related to appetite and energy control. Yeah, so that's one of the most prevalent talking points against vegetable seed oils, is that, other than, completely wrecking like your lipid metabolism, which they do by virtue of their byproducts that were never supposed to be in your body in the first place. And why were the byproducts formed? Because these oils are less stable, they're more liquid at room temperature, right? Because they're engineered to be that way. Even though some of them might have a higher smoke point. If you're eating your food from the deep fryer, and it's being reused over and over again, by the way, anyone who's worked in the restaurant industry, by the way, and work with the fryer, knows that they don't change the frying oil on a daily basis, which they should. I've heard straight from people who worked in these industries that sometimes they keep it for weeks. So talk to someone who works with a deep fryer, hear it from them. How often do they change the oil? That's part of the issue too. Yeah, if you're eating fried garbage. But the takeaway from this paper is, the linoleic acid tied to the formation of these aldehyde compounds like hydroxynonenal. And then
may play a crucial role in the occurrence of diverse lifestyle diseases, including Alzheimer's disease.
Horrible. But we have another study on the slide after this one that talks, we can't say with PUFAs, there are two main PUFAs linoleic acid, which is omega-6, and alpha-linolenic acid, omega-3. Do we think omega-3 is safe from oxidation? Oh, sorry to tell you, it's not. Now, this study, of course, none of these limitations, none of these are actual human outcome data. It's more concerned with like the mechanistic side of things. But I mean, when you put it all together, you should be informed enough to make a decision that you think is sensible for your own consumption, right? We're presenting you with information here. So.
Yeah. The title is Dietary Oxidized N3-omega PUFA Induce Oxidative Stress and Inflammation, Role of Intestinal Absorption of the 4-HHE and Reactivity in Intestinal Cells.
There you go. Pretty alarming title, too.
Omega-3 PUFA is widely advised for public health and in medical practice. However, PUFA are highly prone to oxidation, producing potentially deleterious 4-hydroxy-2-alkenols. Even so, the impact of consuming oxidized omega-3 PUFA on metabolic oxidative stress and inflammation is poorly described. We therefore studied such effects as hypothesized the involvement of the intestinal absorption of the 4-HHE and oxidized omega-3 PUFA end product. They're basically testing the oxidized product that you find in omega-3s in this study.
I think you can just read the last sentence now from the abstract.
Consumption of oxidized omega-3 PUFA results in 4-HHE accumulation in blood after its intestinal absorption and triggers oxidative stress and inflammation in the upper intestine.
Yeah. So, again, full disclosure, this is animal data. Okay. Does it translate equally to human? I suppose we don't have a good answer to that.
Because it's tough, right? Because then you also find studies that say people who consume, I think it's epidemiological studies that people who consume omega-3s have lower risk of heart disease or have a longer life expectancy. But then all of these gets confounded with healthy user bias or other factors like that. So not to say omega-3 is something that you should be getting scared of. It's just something that you should be aware that it is also prone to oxidation. And
Exactly.
It's the oxidized product that seems to be worrisome. Is it going to kill you? I don't know. That's hard to say. But it is something to be aware of.
Yeah, exactly. And just to reiterate what you just said, the point of this is not to scare you. Again, we're showing you the information. And again, remember, when you put this all together in context, these oils are more unstable. They oxidize at lower temperatures by virtue of their molecular structures. And there you go. Both omega-3s and omega-6s produce otherwise toxic byproducts, aldehydes, that can cause damage in the body, all sorts of damage, especially concerning your lipid metabolism, right? And lipid metabolism is hugely important for your life, right? Like, I mean, we have fats, like we metabolize fats, our organs metabolize fats. We need fats, right? We need fats. We need fat-soluble vitamins. Our cell membranes are made out of cholesterol. We need cholesterol for our hormones, right? And when you throw in these oxidized products, it's going to mess things up because the body is not meant to deal with these. I suppose you could say they're not meant to deal with this to great extents, maybe to the extent that these are found in the seed oils, and you could make a case from that by just appealing to the history of food, right? Which is why it's important to consider the history of these seed oils. Are we evolved to consume these high amounts of oxidized products? Can we detoxify these amounts of oxidized products, because even you might still be getting some oxidized products from cooking saturated fats, but at least you can say, well, we've been consuming those for a long time. We're consuming less toxic products with those fats, and maybe it's to the degree where we can detoxify them, we can handle them properly, and they don't accumulate like these seed oil byproducts do. And I'm not saying we have the answers. Again, just to reiterate, I'm just saying you should ask yourself these questions and decide for yourself. Do you genuinely believe these food products are safe for your consumption, like the AHA wants you to believe? Right?
Yeah.
You should ask yourself these things. And then, we can continue.
Yeah.
I could go on forever, man. I could go on forever.
Yeah. Reason number 4, nutrients, right? So fat soluble vitamins. The following fat soluble vitamins are available in seed oils. It has high vitamin E, which is also it's so very interesting to me, vitamin E, because as far as we know, vitamin E is a antioxidant, and you only find very high concentrations of vitamin E in plants. So does that mean we should be having plants because you're finding vitamin E? I don't know. I don't have the answer. It seems that vitamin E is like necessary if you have skin damage, or some. It's like related to skin health, vitamin E. So I don't know. That is interesting.
Yeah. To add to that point, vitamin E, it's you have to remember, if you accept that they lie about red meat, if you accept that they have it wrong about those things, then you have to accept that they have it wrong when it comes to the RDAs. You have to accept that what we actually know about nutrition is very limited, or at least like what we know conventionally, it's extremely limited. Okay, so when you go look for foods high in vitamin E, and the number one source is wheat germ oil, are you supposed to believe that wheat germ oil is something that's going to contribute to your health? It's literally like concentrated wheat germ oil. Like, are you going to believe taking spoonfuls of this, completely ancestrally inconsistent food is contributing to your heart health?
Yeah. I think we should cover this more in depth. Vitamin E.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of these are rabbit holes because, like to the average person, it's going to be like, oh, I'm doing the carnivore diet, I'm not getting enough vitamin E. Should I supplement with some wheat germ oil? And it's like, well, like the rabbit holes go deep, right? So right now we have to gloss over these topics, but absolutely, all of these individually deserve hours long of conversation just to dismantle all of the lies. And they can be disproven, they can be dismantled. It makes perfect sense once you dive into it. But to get the point across, it's very, very tough. So just ask yourself these questions again. Use your critical thought. Okay, I don't want to be here telling you. We don't want to be here telling you this is what you must believe. This is the right way. We're saying we don't have the answers. Ask yourself, what does your intuition tell you? Do you have any more information we could use? Do you disagree? Let us know. We challenge you to challenge us. We'd love to have you and discuss that.
Yes. So the question is how, as you said, vitamin E, where's it coming from? Wheat germ oil. That sounds kind of weird. Everyone should just be eating wheat germ, specifically that? Well, that's kind of weird too. Should we carry around the underlying assumption that all vitamins are required in high amounts? You should just max out everything. How do we know it's properly identified? Right.
Exactly.
And yeah. Anyway, the second point is it is high in omega-6. You know, we obviously covered that, but that is one very specific characteristic of the omega-6 of the nutrients in seed oils is the high levels of omega-6. Now, omega-6 linoleic acid is an essential fatty acid. However, it seems to be like the quantity, because it has to work with omega-3, the quantity, it's what causes the issue. Just having a high amount of it seems to cause the issue. Some people say inflammation, right? With inflammation comes chronic problems. If it's a chronic, if it's a constant issue of chronic inflammation, and you could do this if you're consuming this every day, 3 times a day. The other fat soluble vitamin is K1. So what's interesting? Well, first off, they just say vitamin K, right? That's all. That's all you're gonna get told. Oh, it has vitamin K, but there's an important distinction. Um, vitamin K1. There's vitamin K1, and then there's vitamin K2. K1 can only be found in vegetables, and K2 can only be found in fermented and animal products. So that tells you something right away. K1, and this is also true. K1 cannot be absorbed very efficiently by the human body. However, K2 is the one that can be absorbed by humans, utilized by humans. Humans, you find K2 in humans, not K1. So no, so yeah, should you be consuming K1? No, because it's not a very effective way to get your K in.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And you know, and it's not very the seed oil fats. They're high in these forms of nutrients, right? Which the point we're trying to argue is, do you really believe that that is appropriate for the human body, right? Because you also have to consider if you're consuming these fats, then you're consuming less of the animal fats. And then what's the opportunity cost of that, right? So animal fats will be rich in all your fat-soluble vitamins in their animal form, which is their more bioavailable form, right? Vitamins A, D, E, K, K2, D3, not D2, D3, right? Vitamin E, I believe it's the other forms like gamma tocopherols, and not these plant forms. And then vitamin A, of course, which I'm not sure I like vitamin A anymore, but still, you're gonna find the human bioavailable form in animal fats, right? And other than that, with animal fats, if you're getting other nutrients that you can't find in seed oils, you're getting things like with butter, you're getting butyric acid. Butter is the richest dietary source of butyric acid. It also has other lipid compounds that we don't really understand what they do yet. Again, we don't really know a lot about nutrition. They contain things like glycosphingolipids, which have been shown to support digestion and protect against cancer in some animal studies. Okay, so again, limited understanding of these compounds. Beef tallow, you're getting things like conjugated linoleic acid, right? So the animals will conjugate the linoleic acid for you, make it good for you. Okay, so the common theme is always whatever comes from the animals seems to be good for you, seems to be beneficial for you, seems to be just readily accepted and available to you when you consume them. And people's life in general just seems to improve when they start consuming more animal meats, whether you want to argue that's by elimination of the other things or that's by inclusion of the nutrient density of animal foods. They're both playing a factor, right? So animals got you. In animal fats we trust.
In animal fats we trust. Yes.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna have to put that on a t-shirt.
I like it very too.
Yeah.
Then the other reason is plant sterols. This is
Yeah.
reason
Oh
number
my God.
5. Why you
Yeah.
should be eating some nice seed oils. Plant
Yeah.
sterols. So phytosterols. Uh, phytosterols are plant sterols or stanol esters, which are very similar in structure to cholesterol found in humans.
Yeah.
So here I'm gonna open this link.
So phyto, I believe means is like the prefix just refers to like how it comes from a plant, right? And usually these are like, I suppose you could say like somewhat uh, mimicking of their animal counterparts, right? Yeah, phytonutrients, yeah, phytosterols,
Phyto, yeah.
phytochemicals. Um, what else? Phyto.
Phyto, phyto.
Yeah.
Yeah. So plant-based compound that may help lower your cholesterol.
Now, yeah.
Yuppie.
Before you go on, like, that sounds like good news to the conventional ways of thinking, right? Are we supposed to accept that these things, again, are beneficial to our health, to lower our cholesterol, right? Consume these plant sterols that mimic cholesterol. But yeah, if you want to read, I'll try to pull this up on my end.
Yeah.
These articles are rich, man. Like this topic, I think this is one of the most alarming discoveries that we've made in our research, and I think this is actually a bigger issue than they want to let on, and they're purposefully confusing you to hide this particular issue.
Yes.
I sincerely believe this is it. It comes down to the cholesterol.
Yeah. It says when consumed with the foods you eat, they compete with the cholesterol absorption in your intestine. This can potentially lower cholesterol levels in your blood, most especially the bad LDL cholesterol that can clog your arteries. So obviously we've covered LDL before, and it's a little bit more than just LDL. It has to be small LDL, not large LDL. The particle size and the particle count is what matters. So phytosterols are found most predominantly in fruits, vegetables, vegetable oils, whole grains, soybeans, mushrooms, lentils, and nuts. Right. So all your plants have phytosterols and grains. Are fortified with phytosterols during the manufacturing process. Great, right? So they're just doing humans a good service. So what's interesting, right, is there's this condition called cystoterolemia or cytosterolemia or phytosterolemia, right?
Yeah. Huh.
They're calling it a rare disease, but we'll get into that, which can lead to premature disease, heart disease, and other complications. Excess accumulation of plant sterols in the blood. Okay, so did we not just read that these sterols are good for you? However, if you have too much of them accumulated in your blood, it can lead to premature heart disease and other complications, right?
Yeah.
So, we'll continue on with this. So they're calling it rare lipid disorder by the accumulation of plant sterols in the blood. It's hard to they're basically saying it's hard to differentiate between the hypercholesterolemia, as it seems to create an overlap between the two. Those with cytosterolemia absorb significantly higher amounts of plant sterols and stanols than healthy patients. This can lead to hypercholesterolemia and subsequent premature atherosclerosis. Patients can develop severe coronary artery disease, myocardial infarction, and other complications quite early in life if this condition is left untreated.
Wait a moment. What? Full disclosure, I had never heard of phytosterolemia until you found this paper. And to be honest, I am not surprised by one bit because of what I already know about what I already knew about plant sterols and what they do, and what I do know already about heart disease and artery clogging, this is just further confirmation to me that it doesn't really have to do with saturated fats. It doesn't have to do with LDL. It has to do with these sneaky plant compounds that we've been told are beneficial to our health precisely by lowering our LDL cholesterol. Consume these plant sterols, but by the way, should you consume too much of them, you will also be at risk of the same diseases we told you you're protecting yourself from by reducing your consumption of saturated fatty acids.
So what's the point, right? So
Dude.
here, to be fully transparent, it says it's a rare condition in which the body absorbs excessive amounts of plant sterols, right? So the body, a healthy body will absorb, here they tell you, a healthy person will absorb very tiny percentage of plant sterols, right? A healthy person will avoid plant sterols. But why are they telling you that you want to start supplementing this? Healthy benefits. So what is it? I mean, do you want this or do you not? You cannot be like, if you're healthy, you absorb very little, but if you're unhealthy, you absorb an excessive amount, and then you have heart conditions, heart problems, heart disease. It's one or the other. It can't be both.
Yeah, it can't be both. And right there in the introduction, it'll tell you clinically it can be misdiagnosed as hypercholesterolemia. It creates overlap, a diagnostic challenge for physicians.
Yeah.
So has this all along just been a big confusion? Cholesterol clogs your arteries. Cholesterol clogs your arteries, or is it these plant sterols?
Is it these plant sterols?
Could it be that the reason we've seen heart disease is the #1 killer in the world currently, and it has only been on the increase, since the 50s?
Yeah. I mean, we have reduced our consumption of red meat. We have reduced our consumption of saturated fat. We have increased everything else: sugar, grains, oils, seed oils, everything, right? Again, we're not saying this specific is the reason why heart disease is greater, right? It's a bunch of things. It's a whole cocktail of things that are not good for you thrown at you.
Yeah. We've covered this, by the way, in our previous episodes, in our study club, what gives women a heart attack and what actually clogs arteries. So if you're interested in checking those out, go ahead and give them a listen. Watch them. Again, rich in information. This show makes you smarter, guys. We're not here to give you BS, okay? We're not here to fearmonger you. These are facts, bro. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, I love this. Like it's my, I have a raging nerd boner.
So yeah, basically, if you have this condition, cysterolemia, the plant sterols are not effectively transported into the gut lumen. In addition, the liver cannot excrete the sterols into the bile as effectively. The result is excessive accumulation of plant sterols in the individual's blood. So whether you have the condition or not, take that rare condition away. Having excessive accumulation of plant sterols in your blood is not good. We can determine that at least. You don't need to have cysterocholemia, right? We know we should accept, right? The excessive accumulation of plant sterols can lead to premature heart disease, right? So why?
Absolutely.
Why in the world?
Yeah. Why if you have hypercholesterolemia, as your doctor would think, if you have high cholesterol, their advice is going to be limit your egg consumption, limit your red meat consumption, eat more fibrous fruits and veggies, and cook with, you know, oils from plants. You know, right now they'll tell you olive oil is like the healthiest. Newsflash for you. Even coconut oil, even olive oil have plant sterols in them. I'm not saying olive oil and coconut oil are bad. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
You know, can you trust them? I used the word suspicious before. I don't want to throw crazy accusations around. Suspicious. I don't suspect animals. I don't suspect their fats anymore. You know, I think it's just further confirmation. The safest thing you can do is consume the animal fats. I know that's going to upset many people, but hey, you want to accumulate the plant sterols? You think they're good for you? You think you want to lower your cholesterol? By all means, go ahead. You want to do a carnivore diet, but your doctor told you your cholesterol is high, and now you think carnivore is bad for you? Go ahead. Listen to your doctor. This is not medical advice, not legal advice in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Just here to challenge conventional beliefs. And, you know, for the last kicker, you can click that link. But first, that picture, so that is actually an image of the atherosclerotic plaque, what it looks like after. Of course, this has been, you know, removed and kind of like been treated with chemicals, and that's why it's got like this pink look to it. And you'll see like these crystal form shapes, these crystal forms, right? The white forms that show up in this picture. So those are actually just empty gaps. But what they removed from there was that's where the cholesterols were in the atherosclerotic plaque, right? So they literally like pulled this out from a clogged artery. And they found these crystals, and the conclusion people reach is, you know, these crystals were made from cholesterols.
Wow.
But what kind of cholesterols? You know, suppose you could then ask the question, well, what kind of cholesterol forms crystals? Okay, and plant sterols, man, fascinating topic. We're just skimming the top of it at the moment, but we're gonna have to dive deep into this in a later episode. Okay, so just to gloss over it, I'll give you the brief. You know, newsflash. You know, actual cholesterol, animal cholesterol, does not form crystals. Phytosterols do. Phytosterols do. As a matter of fact, you know, you can dive into the mechanics of how the macrophages work and the foam cells work when they bury under the endothelium. It turns out that the macrophages, I don't know if I should go into it, but basically, I'll just try to be brief. The macrophages are what swallow up the LDLs, and then they bury it under your endothelium, right? That's what creates the blood clots and eventually the clogs the plaque. So they're under the endothelium, and the macrophages become foam cells because they start releasing the cholesterol. They start like bursting, but it turns out that they actually are selective in the cholesterol that they release. The cholesterol that they release is the phytosterols, which crystallize. They selectively prefer to hold on to the animal cholesterol, which is very interesting. It's very interesting. Again, we'll dive into this in the future, but if we could check this paper out, super fascinating stuff. Super fascinating stuff. So just go to the intro. Let's just read the intro, the abstract. What is it? I don't know. It's a review paper. Okay, so yeah, you want to do the honors?
This paragraph over here.
Yeah, read the title too.
Yeah, so phytosterols in cardiovascular disease, innocuous dietary components or accelerators of atherosclerosis. That's like a philosophical question right there. Scientific question. Plant sterols, phytosterols, are a normal component of the diet. Their uptake and elimination is tightly controlled, so that only a very low level are normally found in plasma. However, rare mutations in genes responsible for phytosterol elimination lead to phytosterolemia, a condition in which circulating phytosterols attain very high levels. phytosterolemia is associated with premature atherosclerosis, thereby suggesting that elevated absorption of phytosterols can increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. Dietary phytosterol supplementation is increasingly used to lower plasma LDL cholesterol levels. Whether the more modest elevation in plasma phytosterols achieved with dietary supplementation in normal subjects is associated with the increased risk for cardiovascular disease is uncertain. Experimental data from recent studies in animals and humans are not conclusive, and therefore more detailed studies are needed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so what I like is like obviously we were covering a lot of this, but again, this we were saying uh, supplementation is used to lower LDL, but we don't know if just by merely increasing phytosterols in the blood by a little bit because of this supplementation can potentially be leading to more cardiovascular disease. We don't know yet, but we do need to know.
it might just be a red herring. It might just be a false red flag. You know, I wish it were not the case that they were purposefully recommending you take these things for your health and safety when all along they were doing the opposite. I wish that were not the case. And this is going to be marked in this video for the rest of our existence. If should we never get kicked off this platform, we'll save the videos anyways. I wish, but this is where your sane judgment has to come in. Are we supposed to accept what they tell us is for our benefit, these artificial solutions to artificial problems? Question mark? Again, we're just asking questions here, guys. But I think it's pretty alarming. I think it's pretty alarming, especially once you actually dive deeper into it. You know, this paper is from 2008. 2008. Okay.
2008.
I bet most people listening to this, watching this, have never heard the word phytosterol or phytosterolemia. But I bet they've heard hypercholesterolemia. You know. So should you accept lowering your LDL cholesterol is something desirable? Well, you know, I mean, I can give you my opinion, but we've also put a lot of effort into showing you the information. Again, go check out our study club episode. Go check what gives women a heart attack. And then our other episode, what actually clogs arteries. You know, we're called Butterfield for a reason, guys. This is the fight, right? This is one of the strongest beliefs that even the normies today attack carnivores for, right? You know, plant sterols, man, pretty radical stuff. You know, what if plants? Right, now let's get crazy, because I think this is the last slide. Let's get crazy now. What if plants have evolved to defend themselves?
Does this fit with the plants are trying to kill you theme?
I don't want to be an alarmist. I don't know if I'd go as far as say that they were trying to kill you, because you know we're humans and we dominate. Definitely stronger than that. But sometimes, you know, it's you've heard of the arboreal overlord theory, hypothesis.
Arboreal overlord theory. What is that?
Where basically we are. Well, can you Google it real quick? But you know, the short of it is we are cattle to the plants. You know, if you think about it, most plants, right? Not crop plants, even though you could argue crop plants dominate our lives, right? Wheat, corn, rice, soybean, the most prevalent crops dominate our lives. But most plants outlive humans when you think about it. So,
yeah. Is it this?
Yeah. Arboreal overlord. Is it the overlord one? I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not Overlord one.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's good when you find it on Reddit, man.
What?
Bow
What
down
is
to your
this?
arboreal overlord.
I don't know if this is it.
Yeah, no, never mind. But basically, you get the gist of it. It's we are
Oh,
being farmed by the plants.
we're being farmed by the
Yeah,
plants. We're
okay.
just here to spread their seed.
I'm just being ridiculous with this. I don't want to put off any listeners because all the information we actually give out is very, very serious. This is a very serious show. But we're also funny guys, okay? So I don't want you
We're
to
allowed
think.
a little bit of sense of humor.
Yeah, come on. This is a very loaded topic. It's boring for like the average person. So, you know, we find this entertaining. We hope you do too. Because basically, if phytosterols are bad, should they be bad? Should they be not, at least not healthy? I don't want to even say harmful, but at least just not a net benefit. I think it aligns pretty well with the hypothesis that animals good, plants bad. And I hate to be this reductionist, but again, what do we really know about nutrition? Doesn't seem like we know a lot.
Oh yeah, common knowledge
Yeah,
of it is actually very, very different
yeah,
from what is truth.
yeah. And if it's the case, to what extent? What is a safe mark? What are the safe levels? Is there a hormetic benefit to consuming these things, etc., etc.?
Yeah.
I would submit that. Sorry, let's read the comment from Courtney. I'll submit my thesis later.
Have y'all seen the movie The Happening?
Yeah, with Marky Mark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it.
See, Hollywood fantasizes about this. It's predictive programming.
Does Hollywood know something that we don't?
Yeah, they know. They know. Okay, back to my hypothesis. I submit that our notion that lowering our cholesterol is beneficial to our health is completely upside down. I submit that our normal average LDL levels should be the numbers we get from consuming a diet rich in saturated fats, and that any lowering of this is an artificial result of the introduction of plant oils. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So because people know plant oils lower your cholesterol, but they don't understand why. They don't understand that it's because they have these cholesterol mimicking compounds that sneak in and they're still there. It's not like the cholesterol is absent. They're still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's just something else that accumulates in your atherosclerotic plaque.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a low LDL kind of scares me, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, let's read the summary. We'll wrap this up. I know it's late over there. Probably tired.
It is 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Warm evening in New England.
New England. Yes.
Yeah. So summary, 5 reasons you should eat seed oils. Seed oil is good.
Seed oil is good.
Seed
That's
oils.
the summary.
So seed oils were invented to profit from otherwise useless waste. Go green.
That's good.
Yeah.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Seed oils embodies that.
Yeah. WEF approved. Yeah. Number 2, PUFAs are chemically unstable.
That's good.
They're more prone to oxidation.
That's good.
We love it.
The human body can handle it, so no problem, man.
Yep.
No problem.
which leads to point number 3.
Heating
the
pufas
Yeah, go ahead.
increases unwanted byproducts.
Hey, I love all I'm hearing.
That's good, man. You know, the studies show humans still live through it, so what gives?
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's why they slap the hypertension medicine. That's why they slap the statins. That's why they slap the metformin. And then that's why they slap the Ritalin. That's why they slap the, what else have you? SSRIs, SNRIs. Man, it's all good for you.
Have them seed oils. There's a medication to handle the discomfort afterwards.
Yeah,
And that discomfort is not proven to be happening because of it. Right? That's what the science is.
yeah. You know, the following points.
Seed oils are low in nutrients.
Yeah, so low in all the nutrients you find in the animal fats in their bioavailable forms that your body openly accepts. It's good.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
you'll have these like boiled down, hand-picked, engineered fatty acid profiles that are, you know, all of the points before that unstable and make undesired products.
All you're
And
getting is omega 6. That's it, man. That's what you're getting.
and perhaps most strikingly, most unknowingly, point number 5.
Plant sterols may actually contribute to plaque.
Question mark? Questionable?
Question mark? Interesting.
Man,
Why don't we know more?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And to wrap this up, what do you suppose is a bigger issue? What do you, again, what do you suppose is a bigger issue? I think we've shown you the evidence, shown you enough data points for you to connect the lines. I believe we've also given you our opinion. You know, she says, absolute payasos. complete
Yeah.
payasos, clowns.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out Courtney. Thank you for always listening. Hope you're not working too hard.
Corny tuning in from Homeland Security.
Oh my God. Yikes.
Oh,
Shoot,
awesome.
bro. Yeah.
Yes.
They're onto us. But they're good. Eat them.
Hey, Homeland Security. Seed oils are good.
Yeah. Fully bow down to our Canolian overlords.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, this was a great show. Good work.
Good work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to talk.
I mean,
we need to talk more about vitamin E and a bunch of other more things.
yeah. Vitamin E. I want to do a piece on vitamin A.
Vitamin A.
People are gonna hate that one.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think if you're listening to this and you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to our other episodes. You know, Nosatella is not carnivore, and our keto and carnivore are harmful to your health. Listen, guys, we're nipping all these myths at the butt, and you can simultaneously believe, you know, keto and carnivore are not harmful, and you know, plants are necessary.
Yeah.
Should you choose to have them, that is your informed decision and right to do so. Should you still choose olive oil, that is your informed decision and right to do so. Personally, I can tell you, in animal fats we trust. Stay butter fueled.
In animal fats, we trust.
Yeah. I'm gonna coin that. In animals we trust. Man, animals got you. Animals got you. You want to reduce your agrochemical exposure? Animals got you.
Animals are a gift from nature to humans. We should embrace it.
Yeah. That's why they come after them hard.
Yeah.
and they do, and they do. But just again to counter argument our view, there's very little we understand about nutrition, and I mean we like overall like conventional knowledge knows very little, but I think we're onto something that makes a lot of sense, right? This is just why seed oils are good for you, but I think if you really go and watch all of our episodes, you will come out the other side being like, damn, they showed me all the evidence. I actually think we might be meant to only eat animals. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I won't say I only eat animal products for the rest of my life. No.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's not
what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a very hard claim to say I'm never ever in my entire life have like a bite of cake or a piece of chocolate.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I get right. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, obviously there's gonna be some people who can't do it because of health reasons. So having a little bit of this is just bad. But for otherwise healthy people, just like enjoying these other foods, like once in a blue moon, right? What in moderation? What does moderation mean? Like 2 times a year?
Yeah, that's what moderation should mean.
That's what moderation should mean, right? You have a piece of cake 2 times a year, and that's kind of the end of it. I mean, I think that's cool.
Yeah, and we're not, we're humans. We're resilient creatures. Like we're apex, right? We can obviously withstand a lot of insult and injury and abuse, and it's not the one instance that's going to hurt you. It's the chronic exposure to these that might potentially hurt you down the line. Then they'll tell you, oh, it's because of your genes, but hey, maybe it was because you ate seed oils for 50 years. I don't know. It's hard to prove these things, but I think again all the points align in one particular direction, and it's going to take like a few decades for us to like fully grasp what we're discussing today here. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is very, very cutting edge nutrition information, right? And again, just because I know so many people are going to be upset, like people just they hear what they want to hear, and they'll get upset, but that's not what we're saying here. We're not saying be afraid. We're not saying all of these things. Okay, we're not saying you need to subscribe to the carnivore diet camp. No. If you like some whatever you like for whatever reason, that's important too, right? Yeah, we eat for nutrients, for energy, and we eat for enjoyment. We need to enjoy it too. Of course, there's smart ways to do that. There's dumb ways to do that. That's what it's really all about, just informed decision making, because they confuse us.
Yeah, absolutely. Like mainstream knowledge is meant to really just confuse you. As I know you posted this question, and it always generates a lot of discussion. Like, what if we just tune out all the noise and we just have steak and eggs, right? What would happen to the quality of our lives?
Yeah,
it would be pretty peaceful. I think that's very rewarding. Some people freak out and say, heart disease on the rise, statins, record sales, all this BS. It's like, sorry, man, you still need to learn.
Yeah, question your beliefs, reconsider your beliefs. But yeah, I mean, I fully believe if everyone just ate steak and eggs, nothing else, man, for like a whole year, we'd have heart disease plummet, diabetes eradicated, type 2 diabetes, which is, by the way, like 95, 98% of the cases of diabetes. Even then, I think type 1s would see some benefit. People would restore their sanity, healthy fats, cholesterol, healthy brains, man. So many people are like mentally ill today because, and this was something that Sandy highlighted in one of our Zoom meetings.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't think right when your body is fighting your mind,
Mm.
and your body is fighting your mind because of how you're insulting it with food. Food products, food gimmicks, which again are the real issue here, right? Food products, right? Refined stuff, refined seed oils, refined sugar, refined grains. Those are the big enemies, okay?
Yeah.
Seed oils, guys. Phytosterols.
Phytosterols, man.
Yeah, yeah. But even coconut oil, which is super rich in saturated fat, will lower your LDL cholesterol. So different case, different scenario. We don't have the answer to that. It's unfortunate. But we'll keep digging. We'll keep digging for you.
Yeah.
But all right. Any other closing marks?
No. Yeah. Every time you start digging into topics, more topics resurface. New topics, new names, new things. It's endless. That's why you kind of always simplify at the top by saying, "What if you just eat steak and eggs?"
Yeah.
And kind of forget all this noise. But unfortunately, we live in a physical, very scientific-minded world where you have to kind of use this sword to take down this dragon, in a matter of speaking.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do.
Exactly. Yeah. Our objective is to give you peace.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. We discern through all of this, and should you believe us or disagree? If you disagree, I want to hear why. And you have to address the specific points we addressed here, not come and say like carbs are important because
you need oatmeal. You need oatmeal.
yeah, you're gonna come argue like you need oatmeal to regulate your blood sugar.
What?
My God, you're still there.
Oh man. I mean,
And
if you want to have oatmeal, have it, man.
yeah, yeah.
But your excuses for oatmeal suck.
Yeah, just say you like it. That's cool. At least you'd be honest and not like fear mongering people into thinking they need oatmeal
Yeah.
or any dietary carb for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a fun world we've dove into.
Yeah.
Diet is religion.
It's yeah, they tell you don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. But food, I guess they never say don't talk about food. Because
Yeah.
it's very heated now.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a world where people can't agree on genders. How are we going to agree that steak and eggs are all you need?
Yeah, it's just yeah. Yeah. Something so basic.
Yeah.
Super basic, and people are super confused. They're willing to accept anything, any fantasy.
Yeah.
I just like make believes.
Yeah. They actively want someone to tell them you can eat sugar. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Eat sugar. Coca-Cola good.
Coca-Cola good. Yes.
Oh my God. By the way, I saw I don't know if this is true, but Max Lugavere?
Yeah.
He shared on his Instagram story. He was saying like Ray Pete is he had something. He's sick. He's doing like a zero carb diet now. I forgot exactly what.
I thought Ray Pete died.
Wait, did he? Oh, he did die. Wait, why was Max Lugavere saying that?
It's in his story.
Yeah.
Maybe I can pull it up.
Yeah. No, he's dead. Why do you say that?
Max Beer. So if I do this,
Why did he die?
and it was just today.
Yeah.
Who has
Oh, repeat-esque. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
raping. Ah.
Diet Guru. My apologies. Wow. Wow.
Again, this repeat guy. Repeat after repeat.
Yeah.
It's these the followers of this belief. That's all they do. They just repeat.
It's kind of ridiculous, man. An influencer's about to drop some serious knowledge when they're quoting repeat. Bro,
I know. Like,
seriously?
here is the word of the almighty repeat.
Yeah, who the heck is that guy? Yeah. Is that-
CIA construct. That's why they play with words. They
Yeah.
they call it repeat.
Yeah.
Doctor repeat. Oh yeah, we're gonna repeat.
Just put a doctor in front of the name. I mean, we're not doctors. We're just really smart guys.
Yeah, and
that's
that
why
probably disqualifies us.
Yeah, that's why we're putting our face out there, like, to deal with the backlash and we believe in what we're preaching. So ask yourself this: if everyone ate steak and eggs for a year, what would happen? And on the flip side, if everyone ate a repeat diet for a year, what would happen? Now, do you really think you're on the right side, depending on how you answer that question? What is the real issue we're trying to solve here?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. This is endless, right? Because repeaters are such a glucose advocates, and one interesting thing about Alzheimer's, right, or that mind debilitating disease is that you start seeing, before any cognitive decline, you start seeing decreased glucose uptake by the brain, right, despite having high glucose availability. So what is it, man? So basically you have high glucose availability and your brain suddenly starts rejecting that glucose.
Yeah. Well, that's where they're gonna scapegoat linoleic acid, and to the point where they will tell you bacon is bad.
It's the bacon doing it, man. Not all that sugar that your brain is suddenly rejecting.
Yeah, it's not like all that syrup accumulating all over your brain cells, right? It's like you make your blood syrup. It's not that. It's the seed oils. And again, it could be both. It's probably both. But
absolutely, yeah.
What is going to help someone with early stage
cognitive decline, right?
Cognitive decline. Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it? You're going to tell them to chug maple syrup?
The person's going to like it. I'm no doubt the person will. Oh, this is good. This is tasty.
Yeah. Just cut out the seed oils. Eat maple syrup. Stop the artificial sweeteners, for God's sake. Man, be careful who you listen to, guys.
Oh man, yeah.
And that even goes for us.
It goes for us too.
Yeah. If anyone makes it to the 100th minute mark, it's okay. I know in a year from now, this thing is gonna blow up.
Yeah, we're gonna keep churning out content, and
we put out some banger of episodes. I don't see anyone else talking about this. So
yeah, we are. Yeah, I guess you could say we are hard hitters. We didn't really start off as hard hitters until we were fully convinced that this is this is very, very, very likely the right way.
Yeah, it's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
And the distractions along the way are real, like the traps, like along the way you have grifters. The grifters will distract you, they will mislead you.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta offer better information. That's all we're trying to do here.
Yes.
Offer better information free of cost. But if you'd like to support us, buy our merch. Make butter great again. I guess the image is flipped. Yeah, Butterfield merch, Butter Battery, Valentine's Day merch. Support the show, like, share, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, all of the above. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all of it. Go support us. Share this with someone. Share this with someone. That's how we blow up. If you want to support the show, that's really how we blow up. Listen to it at 1.25x speed so you can get through it faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1.25 or 1.5.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
2x.
We got to clip up these episodes.
Yeah.
Now we're just having fun, but we got to clip up these episodes.
I know, right? Yeah, we do have to clip more stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll just hire a virtual assistant.
Mm.
Yeah, I think they can do that for us.
Is there some AI software that could probably do it?
Go ask ChatGPT. Maybe they'll tell you which one.
Crop from 1 minute to 3 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be so powerful. We want 5 to 15-minute clips, and then I want 10 1-minute clips.
Nice.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Buy our merch, support us. If you'd like help finding the animal-based way for you individually, carnivore or not carnivore, you can hit us up. Check us out at Butterfield Fitness, or just DM us. Just reach out. Check out our website for more information. We'll help you figure this out. Join our Discord. Yeah. All right. I think we can wrap it up. I haven't had dinner. I'm pretty hungry.
Let's wrap it up. Thank you, everyone. And
yeah, thanks, everyone.
Till next time.
Gonna eat it by the stick tonight. Gonna eat out this way.